Welcome back to the plot, everyone. It's a glorious day today, a little bit windy and cold, but we've got wall-to-wall sunshine and it's dry-ish. There has been a couple of little showers, but nothing really to nothing really to worry about. We've had a really dreadful week this week with the rain. We had Storm Nelson go through on Thursday, and it rained for about 24 hours, really heavy rain, so everything's saturated. But let me give you a quick look around and I'll tell you what jobs I've got in store for today. Right, I've got Delilah with me today. She's brought a mug. That's the only work she's allowed to do today, is drink tea or coffee and eat biscuits. These are the Detroit 2 Crimson Globe beetroots that I had at home. I'm going to be putting these in one of the beds once I weed it. And I've got my first earlies, the rockets. They're going to go into potato bags. I've got my flask and biscuits. That'll be good. Have a nice chat with Delilah and have some coffee and biscuits. Purple sprout and broccoli. Oh, this is looking fabulous now. Let me just take this off and show you. The slugs and snails love this stuff. They're all trying to crawl up this yesterday when I popped up. But yeah, it's just, I'll be picking loads of this, as much as I can off this, and hopefully it will encourage the plants to keep flowering. These are all looking really good now. So yeah, I'm going to get some of that. The kale's going to seed, but the rabbits will still enjoy that. So I've got some perpetual spinach there. That's more for the rabbits than for me. I've got some beetroots here, which I think I'm going to take out, just see if there's anything there and take them out. But I'm going to weed this and I'm going to put the beetroots that I brought up from home today in there. We have a solitary tulip, nice yellow tulip there. Oh, garlic, well, what a waste of time that was. 2 rows of garlic in here of Kingsland White, nothing appeared. I've got elephant garlic, that came up. Then I had 2 rows of Kingsland White, nothing came up. The rest, these here are onions grown from sets that I got from Dolores. And then here, this line here, is some saved garlic from last year that I grew. So I saved them and I put them in the ground just to see if I could get some sort of garlic. This line here, these are sensu onions that I grew from seed. These were put in, that's the wrong label. The label's over here. So these were, I'm pretty sure they're sensu. Let me just check. Yeah, sensu, and they were started off on the 21st of the 10th last year. So they were quite slow growing in the pots I had them in at home. But I've still got room here where I'm going to be putting something, don't know what. Strawberry plants, these are going to get moved to that planter over there once I get it filled with compost. Rhubarb's doing well. We're going to be taking some of that soon. And we've got flowers on the blueberries, if you can just see that there. Some nice pink and white flowers. But yeah, there's 4 bags of compost get put in this yesterday, and it's not even touched the sides. So I'm going to put a lot more in there today. I've got all the spent compost from last year over there that I'm going to be using, and for my new carrot bed up there. This is the broad beans that I put in last week. I've done the same for Delilah. I brought some broad beans up. She's got a nice bed of broad beans now. These are the pak choi. I took them out of the greenhouse and put them in here because we were getting munched. And I'll show you why. I'll just insert from last week. I'll just insert it here. I'll just look at it. Pak choy is looking miserable. Oh, well, that'll explain it. As you can see, it's been getting munched, and if you look down there and there, there's two of the culprits. So I might take these out and put them somewhere outside. They might as well get munched outside as well as inside. So and this is a garlic. I'll put that in the ground, see if that continues to grow. I took a trip down to Wickes this morning to get some more compost. They had 50 litre bags of Miracle Grow for £5. So I got 6 bags of that. Peas, I'm going to be putting a line of peas up along here. Might not get around to that today, but I've got tomorrow's Easter Sunday, and the weather's going to be just as good, I think. I've started filling my carrot bed, but still needs quite a lot more. So I'm going to use a lot of the spent compost for the carrot bed. Nothing there. That bed needs cleaned out. This is all the spent compost. I was going to reuse it again, but I'll give these new compost for the potatoes, and I'll use the spent compost for the carrot bed, because the carrots don't need it too rich, otherwise they'll start forking. I've got the blossom on the green gage tree. In fact, I'll scroll back, let you have a good look at it, because it's looking really nice with all the blossom on it. So that's the green gage tree, which is looking good. Lots of blossom on there, keep the bees happy. So yeah, plenty of jobs. It needs a good strim and a good cut again, but it's just been too wet this week to take a lawnmower out and do anything. So the ground's really, really soft. Every step I take, I can feel my feet sinking a little bit. So I've got loads of jobs here to do, so I'm going to crack on and get started with the first ones. Okay, so let's get started with this. Get this bed cleaned up. If I do one bed every time I come up, then it will not seem so laborious. Wow, there's more than I thought. Just quickly show you the amount of slugs. I don't know whether you can see that. All the slugs are sticking to the bottom of this. Yeah, but I put this that bitumen roof cover over this bed before the winter. All these wouldn't have grown. Okay, slugs are getting tossed. If any of them make it back over the fence, they'll get thrown back over again. Yeah, I should have really covered this better over the winter time. Still, too late now. Something to remember next year, hopefully. So, I did come up. Last Sunday for a little while, but I forgot to put the chip back in the camera, so the camera was useless, but I did do a little bit on my phone, but I didn't have much time and I was rushed, so I didn't really do a lot of filming. Yeah, I went into town and I got new glasses. Then me and Pip, we went down the quay and we had some lunch. Then we had a little walk through the city centre on the way back. We had a look at the house that moved, which is an old house in Exeter. I think it's originally from the 1420 to 1460 sort of time zone. And it was at a different part of Exeter, but they wanted to make a ring road round the city, and the house was in the way, so they moved it. This was way back in the 60s, so they moved it to its current location. But quite a nice old house. I don't think it started off like this. I think originally it just started off as the shop, and then as they became more prosperous, they added different floors onto it afterwards. So that's why it's from 1420 to 1460. It spans all those years. We then had a walk up Stepcote Hill, which is one of the old cobble streets of Exeter. And if anyone remembers the old Hovis adverts, yes, it was like taking bread to the top of the world. So we had to walk up there, and then we had to walk round to the cathedral. It was quite busy. It was quite a nice day last Sunday, so it was quite busy around there with all sorts of things going on. Interesting thing about the cathedral is that they were going to do some, I don't know what they were going to do, some building work or something, way back in the 70s, and they dug up the paved area which is in front of the cathedral now, and they discovered a very large Roman bath structure. So they got the archaeologists in. Exeter's quite a historical town. The city walls, you can see parts of that which were built by the Romans or repaired by the Romans. So there's Roman structures quite all throughout the city, really. But once the archaeologists had finished with the Roman baths, they just covered it up again to preserve what's there. So we've done that, and then we came home, got changed. I came up here, discovered I'd forgotten the chip for the camera. I planted the broad beans on my plot and Delilah's, done a bit of weeding in Delilah's plot, and by that time it was 6 o'clock in the evening. It was beginning to get darkish, and it was beginning to get near dinner time, so that was it. That was last Sunday. But being Easter weekend, I've got loads of time off work at the minute, so I won't be going back to work until Tuesday, which is great. So me and Delilah had a road trip yesterday to Otter Nurseries out in Ottery St Mary, nice little village in Devon, and we got ourselves some compost. They had a deal where if you buy one get one free, basically, of manure compost, but it's still not enough compost for me, so I went down to Wicks this morning to get some. I got a couple of Wicks vouchers from a bonus sort of at work for some work I'd done. Instead of giving you a pay rise, they give you a stupid little bonus thing called instant recognition reward. So bit of a poke in the eye, I suppose. So I got 150 quid bonus, which I converted to Wix vouchers, so that'll keep me in wood and compost and other things, tools maybe, if I need any more tools for the rest of this year. But I'm going to shut up now and just crack on with this. Okay, right, I've cleared this bed, get rid of all the weeds, quite a few dandelions as well, and I'm going to stick these beetroots in. These are Detroit number 2 Crimson Globe, which I started off at home on 17th of February 2024. So I'm just going to, oh look at that bindweed, I hate bindweed. I'm just going to put them along a line here. Hopefully the slugs will leave them alone. Just space them apart about the length of this hori knife. The compost is really wet because I've been outside in the garden, and as I said, we've had a lot of rain recently, but we'll get these in the ground and they can hopefully take off from there. We can use these little pots for something else. What I might also do while I'm here is, after I get these in the ground, I might do a little bit of successional sowing, and put a line of beetroot seeds in. I've got that flappy thing, go away. I'll also show you the beetroots that I actually pulled out when I was weeding. Right, let's make another line. Just move this down. I always just usually use my hand tools for measuring distances. But I do like to get them in on a straightish line, so I know what's what. You can go over there, Mr. Woodham. Just check that this microphone's still on, because I had to change the battery in the camera and I wasn't sure whether it switched the microphone off. That would have been funny, me talking to myself again. So I've got a few more things to do this afternoon. I want to pick up all my parsnips out because they're starting to go woody, and I don't want that, so I'm going to remove all the parsnips. I want to pick some purple sprouting broccoli because it's ready and it's rather nice. Then I want to plant some potatoes and potato sacks. I usually do my earlies in potato sacks, old compost bags, things like that. Then I leave the pots that I've got for my main crop. Right, I'm just going to put these two in. Right. Put this label in so I know what they are, and I'll just move this line down and I'll put in some seeds. Okay, so I've made a thin drill there. Just let me get the seeds. Here we go. As all my beetroot and radish seeds are in here. I'll actually put in some radishes. I'll try these ones. They're opened already and they're out of date, but I'll chance it and see if we can get anything. These are a rainbow mix, so and there are more than a few years out of date, but I'm sure I sowed these last year and they came up. Anyway, let's get some in the ground. If you come in, I'll show you the seeds. It's quite windy. They're quite large seeds, so they're quite easy to sow. I'm just going to space them apart. Of course, they are a seed cluster rather than individual seeds. So even if you sow one of these, you might get several beetroots coming up. See if I can get these back in the packet and not spill them all over the bed. There we go. That's beetroots. And we have some cherry bell radishes. I'll just put a line of them in. Just make a small trench. And the radish seeds are very much like brassica seeds. They're very small, round. So quite small and round. Well, actually they're a lot bigger than cabbage and things, but I'll just sprinkle a line of these along. I don't actually like the stuff, but Pip does, so I can grow them from... Ow, 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 ow. Cramp in the leg. It's beginning to get busy here. So all I've got to do now is cover them and make a couple of labels, which is the most important thing, otherwise you forget what things are. And I'm not going to water. It's been so much rain recently, the ground's wet enough. And I know you're supposed to water things in, but really we've had so much rain, it'll be a waste of time. Right, there we have it. Some beetroots and some radishes. First seeds that I've got in the ground this year. Right, potatoes. I'm going to plant 2 seed potatoes in these big bags and 1 in the smaller bags. So this is a compost I bought this morning. From Wix, and it is Miracle Grow peat-free premium all-purpose compost, and £5 for a 50 litre bag, which I thought was quite good. So I'm just going to put a couple of inches of compost in the bottom. It's quite fibrous, but I think that's the same with all the peat-free composts. So I've put a couple inches on the bottom. I'm going to get seed potato, put it in with the chits facing upwards if you can, and cover it over. Now these are determinate potato, which means they'll all grow in one level, so there's no need to earth them up. And Delilah's just popped back, she wants to go in the shed. It's okay, you can make a noise, Delilah, it doesn't matter. It's not Hollywood, it's YouTube. So Delilah's just been up and she's been doing a couple of light duties on her own plot. She's done a little bit of weeding. And she's planted some beetroot. So I've covered that with a couple of inches, and I'm going to put in my second seed potato, and I'll pretty much cover that up, and I'll fill this bag until it's about 2/3 full. That's the first one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off all the rest, and I'll bring you back once I've finished. Okay, so these are the parsnips and the beetroots that we got. That's not beetroot. So, got a few beetroots. And we've got a few parsnips. So I forgot to show you the potatoes at the end, so I'll show you them next time I'm up. But that's it for me for today. See you again soon next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.